All right, so the project here is some gravel driveway work. You might recognize this house or this site location here. In a previous video, we excavated and installed some new septic tanks for them. But what we're doing out here on this go around is we're going to be widening the driveway here. You can see this white line I've painted. This is a white line that we're going to be extending that driveway out to. So we have to remove this existing wooden border and dig down the grade of this dirt here to a subgrade elevation that will allow for 6 or more inches of base rock, probably more like 8 inches of base rock thickness. And we're going to get that compacted in, and we're going to provide a grade from that back fence back there out right towards me here of about 0.5%. That's all the area will allow. It's really flat out here, and so that's the challenge. Currently in the wintertime, that puddles up right there, and he parks his RV in here. So the point of widening the driveway is to provide better access for the RV to pull in here and turn around, and also get these grades dialed in because of the poor drainage situation. So first thing first, I got the little Caterpillar mini excavator here. I'm going to go ahead and start digging out the dirt to provide room for that new base rock. So let's get started. Well, you saw it. That's how your day goes from okay to not okay in a hurry. So that's the propane line. Should have been much deeper than that. It's pretty surprising that that we hit it right here. I mean, this thing is like just a few inches below the grade. So slight change of plans. We're gonna have to expose the gas line in here and work on getting this fixed so I can continue. Bad news, guys, bad news, but this kind of stuff happens. What I should have done was potholed and located it, but I was out here earlier, and from what I saw when they had a section of this trench open, it was more like 30 inches deep, which is why I didn't think that was necessary. I don't know why this pipe is so shallow, but we will just have to deal with it. Let's get started uncovering this thing. All right, so yeah, this gas line's like 3 or 4 inches deep over on this other side, but it looks like there's this weird 90-degree bend. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'm going to dig down right here because it looks like my tooth on the excavator pulled it. This probably came out of the trench, popped up like that. So I think somewhere in here is where I need to start digging to find out what that connects to. Of course, this will all have to be redone, probably cut back there a ways. So let's start digging. Yeah, when I was out here looking at this, before the owner had the tank moved back there, this propane line was in and it was deep. But this must have been the part of the existing propane line coming from the house. And it's really shallow. All right. So I've exposed, looks like a T right here. That's where it broke off right there, but I can tell this joint's been compromised here. So you have to dig back a little bit further that way so that a thorough repair can be made. All right, so we got this exposed a little bit more. This is existing line. It is just super shallow. There's the surface, and there it is. Yes, it is pulled up a little bit, but that's probably only 6 or 8 inches deep, so that's alarming. Anyways, here's this other leg, and there's a T here. So that little guy that snapped off of the generator supply line, which the generator supply line must have been installed very shallow, maybe after the fact. The standard house line is much deeper. And this is the new stretch that goes over to the tank, and it too shallows up probably more than it should be. But anyways, there it is. I'm going to take some tape and tape up the tip of that pipe to help reduce the chance of silt and stuff getting into the propane line. All right, well, I'm going to dig this out a little bit more for the propane guys, including over there, and then I'm going to get back to work and keep digging. The propane company will be out a little bit later today to get this fixed up for them. So let's do a little bit more digging and get back to work. All right, that wasn't too bad, except for the gas pipe. So we got that dug down there pretty good. 8-9 inches, probably more in some places. I just gotta show you again. That's how deep the gas line is. Basically a little over a fist deep. Anyways, that will have to get fixed before we base rock that. So what I'm going to do next is I need to remove these boards here, and I think I'm going to mostly tackle this with the digging bar and the pick and just start prying it up. Should come out of there pretty easy, I'm hoping. And that's the next thing. Then after that, we're going to dig some of this thicker drain rock away from the building, because that's not going to match the finish coat that we're going to put on. So I want to get that out of there right now. Plus there's weeds in there, and got a few other weeds over here. So we'll get this wood edging out of here and then tackle the weeds in the drain rock. All right, let's see how easy this guy comes out of here. Oh man, piece of cake. All right, that came out real easy. So I'm just gonna fold these things up, some other boards over here, and find a place to stash them. Maybe I'll put them down between the propane tank and that apple tree down there. What do you guys think of that? So we dug down this dirt area that was never base rock before alongside the fence. So we'll have some room now for some base rock in there that we can lay in there and compact. Before I do that though, I'm going to run the jumping jack whacker over this grade right here. Maybe put a little bit of moisture on it, just try to beat that down. That's going to help give that base rock a little bit more support. In here, in a previous video, that shed used to be right here, and that fence actually used to be yeah, that fence was always there, but the shed was on this side of the fence, excuse me. And so anyways, that was never base rocked in here, and my proposal to the owner was to move that shed, get it on the back side of the fence, and increase his parking area here for his RV. And because this has never been a traffic area before, or driven on, or based, I wanted to dig it down a good 12 inches. It's going to be supporting that heavy vehicle. So we got it down about 12 inches. You could see I was using my laser and my receiver. My tripod and my reader stick aren't with me today, so I like being creative. I use this tamper tool. Actually works pretty nice. You can just leave it out there. You don't even have to lean it up against a fence. Anyhow, so this is dug down now. I might run the whacker over this grade too. It's going to be a lot of whacking tomorrow, I think, but this is about where we're at for today. Had the mishap with the gas line, but the property owner has decided to abandon the very shallow gas line going across the trench that was just for the generator. That's the generator gas line's the one that's shallow. The main supply is deep. So the plan now is I located the gas line right here at the generator. You can see it's very shallow. Hopefully you can see that. And we're gonna dig a little trench out here until we intercept the main gas supply that does come up over here to the house. So we're going to expose this gas line for the gas company. We're going to expose maybe 6 or 8 linear feet of that gas line. I think it's 1.25 inches they were saying, and that's going to give them enough play hopefully with that pipe to use a stab gas coupling or a weld on a melt on T. Either way, they'll be doing that work. I'm just going to do the digging for them probably first thing tomorrow morning, and we'll get that digging done. I'll have the skid steer moved on to the site, and I need to scoop up this dirt, get it out of my way, and get it over into that field area right there. So that's the game plan for now. We'll get back at it tomorrow morning. Over and out. All right, good morning, guys. Great way to get your day started, doing some hand digging. Let's start digging. Get this ready for the gas, guys. So there we have it. We have, I think that's 1.25 inches, the gas company was saying. And looks like they put a water line in there right next to it, unfortunately making that job a little bit more difficult for the gas company. But got a pretty good hole here dug for him. The gentleman's already shown up and said that what I have is good. And I knew that conduit was there, roughly, somewhere in here, I should say, because that's the conduit that goes out to the septic system control panel, and I knew that it ran over here. The main breaker panel for this house is right behind this wall, and I wanted to be very careful right here digging, because I think those power supply conduits come in somewhere right through here, and I didn't want to dig, you know, that direction towards my truck. So got a little pothole for them, so we're gonna let the gas company do their thing, and when they're done, we will bring in a little bit of sand, get that sanded, and then get that backfilled and compacted and lifts back up, so so that won't settle or be squishy later on for the property owner, because he's going to be parking his RV just right in here. So that's definitely going to need some compaction. I'll probably top off the last foot of this trench with base rock too. So all right, there you have it. We'll get back at it. All right, we got some sand showing up. We got Blake here. Grant's digging out a little bit of this soil that was loose down in the bottom of the trench, so we can replace that with sand. And the gas company got their job done. So that's what we're working with. Looks like they came straight up out of that, the larger main line, and transitioned to this 3/4, put in a proper riser piece. So now all I have to do is get some sand in and around this, tamped in. I do actually have to replace this little water line pipe that's down in here, so should probably get to doing that first. I cut it out of their way. See the piece laying over there, because it was right up against the gas line. That was going to make it difficult, so get that replaced, then get the sand in here. All right, now we are done with the gas line fiasco. This is where I hit it, where the line was really shallow. There is the abandoned tip of the line that I hit, so the owner did decide to abandon that. And as you saw in the time lapse, we got sand around both sides, got it compacted back up here in lifts, and at this point it's ready for some more base rock right here. Gotta put a good thick you know, 10 or 12 inch layer of base rock over this one section here since we dug it up. But now for me to get caught back up with where I'm supposed to be, I need to whack in these areas that I've over excavated down, and it's a lot of surface area. It's going to be a lot of whacking, a lot of me behind that whacker, listening to some music maybe. So I'm going to get after it here. Yeah, I got this area to whack. Grant helped me out. He did whack some of this down here, but I got a little strip off to the right hand side I got to whack still. So I want to whack this subgrade, and then I can start putting some base rock in. And I still have to move this dirt, but I want to get this base rock in over here first so I can cross over and dump this dirt out in this field area. So let's start whacking. All right, that was fun. Got all that whacked in. And next thing we got to do is move some of this base rock around. So I'm going to load this base rock into this first side area right here. And I'm going to shoot for about a 6-inch lift in there. And then I can whack that in. To get some rock for the job. Anyways, I wanted to show you guys this. Have you ever seen a Caterpillar 385 long reach? There you go, right there. That is a beast. Looks like they were mucking out this pond here a little bit. But get some rock loaded up there. Alright, better get going. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. That thing's a monster. Over now. Getting her good and wet here, guys. So the game plan now is I got one load mixed here. I'm gonna spread this in there. I got that load back there that was moisture conditioned at the yard. Get these couple loads spread out and run and get some more rock. I got the laser set up over there, and we have currently a 1% slope that I think we're gonna be able to achieve through here. So we'll get this rock spread, try to overbuild it by a little bit, and get it rolled in, and then put on that grader attachment with the automatics and come through here and swipe it clean. So let's get back to it. So you could see what I was doing there, making some passes with this grader attachment, and when putting it on the automatics, it was really biting in. So obviously I laid in plenty more than I needed to in this area, because I've worked myself up a pretty good pile here. So that's excess really at this point, based on me keeping the grades where that is set, or I could back off on that and I could maybe pitch this slope up a little bit higher towards the fence, and or increase the grade overall by a ½ an inch or so, and then I'd be able to probably lose most of that pile right there and just work it back into the area. So that's one thing I'm learning about this, is I was out there shooting some grades, trying to balance things out myself, but sometimes you got to do a little trial and error. So we're going to head home and get back after it tomorrow. All right, so here's where I'm at with this project. I have got all the rock spread around, mostly right where it needs to be. I just sprayed it down a little bit. I've got the whacker. I'm gonna do one more pass down this fence line. It's just a little closer than I really want to get with the vibratory plate. Plus that was that deeper cut that we made to fill with base rock. So I'm gonna run the whacker over that one time and roll the rest of the driveway right here while it's nice and damp. And then I'm gonna switch over to the grader attachment and do some final passes and skim this thing off. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna jump on that whacker and give it a whack down real quick. All right.
A girl, she took me around the world. She was my first number 10. I was just a guy she had hypnotized. She made me spend and spend. I bought her this, I bought her that. A brand new mink and a Stetson hat. Tony Llamas cleared to the knees, but this is what happened to me. She walked out on the lawn. Them boots I bought her, the ones I thought she could use on water. Well, she waited till I had spent every last dollar. Yeah, then she walked out in them boots I bought her. A very legitimate thing. There was money that I hadn't even spent. I thought I'd put aside for the blessed event. I thought maybe I shouldn't, or maybe I oughta. Till she walked out in them boots I bought her. She stayed away till my next payday and said, "Ooh, I miss you a bunch." I was blinded by the sweet surprise, so I took her out to lunch, and then she said, "Let's take an island flight." I said, "Ooh, 100 dozen, that sound nice." I bought 2 tickets to paradise, but she took another friend and left me. She flew out on one, them boots I bought her, the ones I thought she could use on water. Well, she waited till I had spent every last dollar. Yeah, then she walked out in them boots I bought her. Yeah, she waited till I had spent every last dollar. Then she walked out in them boots I bought her. Where you going? Now with those boots or not? Come back. $600 Tony Long boot. Not to mention that hat I bought you. What's wrong with you, girl? What do you think I'm made out of money?
All right. That's looking pretty good, huh? So I just made a pass or two right through this little area right here because the drainage, unfortunately, they get during heavy storms water that comes down the driveway. And I just wanted to make sure you could see where it actually cut little high spots out, these darker gray areas. That was a little high spot in there. So I put that blade on automatics and it cut those high spots out, left me with a little pile of base rock / gravel that I'll fill into that remaining portion of trench right there. But that laser, I had it set for 0.7% fall this way. That's all that's there. And 1.25% fall this way. So it's dual sloped, that grade right there. Coming to this center point here, this is where all the storm water is going to exit this driveway. And this is the next phase right now. I need to make some passes here with the grader to improve this swale. I will set up the laser over here and use the automatics on the machine. Might as well. That's all part of the fun. So mostly the driveway's graded. I'll probably roll that a little bit. But this is where the stormwater is going to be coming off of here. So let's get that laser set up and make some passes in here. What do you think? I think that looks pretty good. Very nice. So you can see we have this stretch nicely shaved in, and I shaved off the side so it wasn't just like a ditch, and raked that all out. And this is where it goes out to. There's the county road right there. So this matches this grade here. The slope that I had was 0.7%, so a little less than 1% fall on this stretch. And that was able to get me from the edge of the road that I created to this existing grade out here. So it matched it, which is nice. And wish we could have had more slope than that, but the swath that I cut through here is about 7 feet wide anyways. And it's looking really good. Got this last little stretch over by the fence rolled. But next step is going to be putting in the edging. We see that pile of lumber right there next to the propane tank. So we got to set that edging in here. Get it all along this edge here, and then bring in some 1/2-inch drain rock or 3/8 chips to overlay everything. And that's going to give it a real nice consistent look. So excited for you guys to see that. So hang in there and stay tuned for the next update. All right, the edging is done. While I was off tackling a different project in the area, my septic system had a lot of roots in it. Neiman came out here and put this edging in for us. Did a great job, Neiman. If you watch these videos, excellent work, my friend. And the owner was okay with these straight angles. The edging board is a 2x6 PT Doug Fir down in there. And we are ready for the finishing touch. So we got Mr. Dumpy here. Mr. Dumpy has some 1/2 inch drain rock in it. That's going to match this top coat. And so take a good look right now. This is what the driveway looks like with just compacted base rock. Because it's about to transform into, in my opinion, something a lot better looking. Base rock is great, but it doesn't quite have a consistent look to it when you're finished. It can be kind of blotchy, and if we were just to leave this base rock, let's say after a winter, a lot of the fines would wash out of the surface and it would look a lot more consistent, but not quite as consistent as this 1/2 inch drain rock is about to make this whole place look. So it's gonna look great. Let me get this guy dumped out and we'll start scooping and spreading. All right, so you can kind of see the difference here. I've got quite a bit of it spread. Takes no time at all. and that's that really nice consistent look that you can get from just a screened aggregate. And that's the base rock look. Not terrible, but my opinion much better over here. And one other thing I'd like to recommend is not to use a loose aggregate like this on any driveway that has a slope to it, especially anything that's steep, because it's loose and your tires will peel out in it a bunch. So if you had a steep driveway or even somewhat sloped driveway or parking area, I don't recommend a loose aggregate like a 1/2-inch drain rock or chips or pea gravel or anything like that. Or if you have a driveway that's right adjacent to a road where you have to pull out onto a road where maybe vehicles are moving fast and you need to be able to get out quick, what we've seen happen is people can be trying to pull out into traffic, they hit the gas and they just peel out, they get minimal traction, and they end up getting T-boned. So yeah, don't want that to happen. So base rock is good for many applications, but if you have a flat lot, this looks nice. Do you agree? I agree. Anyways, let's finish this up. All right guys, all done out here, except got to get the tractors moved out. Tractor and grading implement, I should say. But that is it. That looks really nice. Get a different angle shot here. So yeah, I feel like if you want a real consistent look, you can do a loose aggregate, you know, a graded aggregate on top, and that looks awesome. Got that all raked in, blended in with the existing aggregate he had there. Swept that off. And if you guys haven't watched the episode where I did the tank replacements here at this place, you should check it out. I think it's episode 9, could be wrong on that, but we had a lot of fun in that video moving that shed. That was a real challenge. We had to get it out of the way because we had to bring in concrete tanks back into there. But that's a fun video. If you have time, check that one out. But yeah, it's turned out really good. So thanks for joining me today, guys, and stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching. Over now.